My dad lives in Florida, so he's nowhere near this building. I love him dearly. He's an avid Dolphins fan. We have a very special guest coming up. Apparently it's not me. Are we cool in the booth there? I think they just rewrote the program. Mark's done. Bob, are we cool back?
Hang on, I'm gonna come out there.
Yeah, we all know Bob, right? He fixes everything. I have a loud voice, but I don't have a loud body. Bob, are we ready?
Council chamber? You probably don't know that. I know. Yes, I'm the one that puts up January and spells it incorrectly. Did that last Tuesday. Just having one of those evenings and I get this text. You spelled January wrong. I will fix it. But that's not why I'm here tonight. This is actually the first time, actually the second time, that I have been on this stage in front of people. Now, I didn't rehearse the darn thing because I don't work that way, because I usually am trying to figure out what people are doing that they've rehearsed. I'm doing everything on the fly. I had to come up here and do this on the fly. So I decided to come up here and tell you a couple of stories. Well, actually, there's going to be one story and a poem. Yes, really, there's a poem. But I had to tell you a little story about Andy that somebody triggered a memory of. I've seen all of the stuff that Andy has done, and I have seen Andy on stage once. We were doing, you had to help me out on this. We were doing a civic arts kids show, one of our first ones. I can't remember the name of the performer. It had all the set pieces. Anyway, there was a cow involved. They didn't have two people to play the part. Todd Tremble at the time was our supervisor. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. Todd Tremble was a great guy. He's not my height. But he definitely was not into the theater part of things when it came to acting. Andy, in his infancy, said, anyway, his wisdom said, Todd, we need you to play part of the cow. I will be in the back. This is a true story. I'm sitting in the booth. Where it's sitting. Anyway, the show's going along just fine. Here comes the cow. And this is what I saw. Front of cow. Back of cow. That's where the term at amateur theater came, moo, I am a cow. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story. I call this story The Opening. It didn't make sense. I'll prompt you on this one a little bit. Andy decided it was time for me to become familiar with acting on stage. Of course, I'm like, okay. So here I am, going, what am I going to do? It was during the mayor's dinner, actually. And we were just kind of getting into the sort of dinner show rather than doing a slideshow, because we found out over the years slideshows had a mind of their own, and they would do things like show the wrong slide with the machine that was playing the audio track. Anyhow, so we decided to go with real live performances. Can't speak to these. So anyhow, my part was to, what we had to do is come up with a scene. So this is the story of what's happening. we had to come up with the idea of how we're going to get the performer from the Civic Arts Show, which was the man that came to dinner. We had to come up with a scenario of how come he was going to stay for the mayor's dinner. Scenario was, 2 technicians are going to go up and tie this guy up into a knot, and he's going to fall into a bunch of other technicians, and then carry them off of the room.
Okay, that wasn't mine.
Here's kind of how it went in my mind. Oh, I had a line too. I said, that ought to fix you. That was a simple line, no big deal. You think it would be no big deal, except I was able to tell you what happened. Here's kind of what the scenario went. It was like, okay, here comes the scene. Kevin Saskow at the time was working with Andy on this. And we get into an argument. I make some kind of weird sound with the sound system. That part went flawlessly. I walk up there with Kevin and we have this sort of argument going on. Oh, I can't believe we did this. We tied the guy up. Now, of course, panic is setting in because this is what's happening. Off and to the side, I see people that are supposed to be coming to the front of the stage to catch our actor. I'm supposed to be down there with them. Wait a minute, I haven't tied this guy up and I haven't delivered my line yet. Yes, folks, true thing, it happened. I did every actor no-no you can ever imagine. We tied the guy up and I was freaking out because I'm supposed to be on the floor, and I just kind of went, action! Meanwhile, I run down here, I get this guy, and then we catch him. Okay, so far we're okay, we've got back up. I trip over a chair. Miraculously, somehow I managed to get my feet back up underneath there myself, and we got him outside, and of course I came back in to finish running sound for the show. And I remember somebody saying, what was that all about? So that was my, I've never been afraid of the stage ever since, but tonight I thought I would make a special invitation to try to do this because, what the heck, you know, I only had to do it twice, especially you had to do it in the kills. Okay. Now the second part is a poem. I did this poem at a retirement party many moons ago, like yesterday. But it was quite a while ago. It was for our director at the time was Lois Bankston. And she was retiring. We came with this idea of coming, so I decided to do this poem. Of course, this time I'm going to give you a little bit more of a prop. It was done by a person who I admired as a kid, George Carlin. And he had a way with coming up with funny ways of saying words. Anyway, as he was getting into comedy, I don't know if this is going to work anymore. I had it tied up all day long. He had to kind of come up with some sort of thing on how come his hair was getting longer and he's growing a beard. So he came up with this poem. I'm aware some stare at my hair. In fact, to be fair, some really stare at my hair. But I don't care, because they're not aware, nor are they different hair. In fact, they're just square. They see hair down to there, say beware, and go off on its hair. I say no fair. And if it's fair, there's really nowhere. So be like a bear. Show what you care. Wear it to there. Or to there. Or to there if you dare. My wife bought some hair at a fair to use as a spare. Did I care? Au contraire. Spare hair is fair. In fact, hair can be rare. Fred Astaire got no hair. Nor does a chair. Or a chocolate eclair. And where is a hair in a pear? Nowhere. All for hair. Now that I've shared this affair of the hair, I think I'll repair in my lair and use Dare. You can? I can't believe I pulled it off. Put ourselves back. Andy, would you be so kind as to join me up here? Just couldn't help but do this. So, yes, so. famous lines. What I'm going to ask you to do.
Done?
Nope, no. We imported this all the way from his house. Thank God for Facebook.
That's where we
See, it's a good thing he's not on it because that's how I got this sucker.
That's where we did it behind the curtain.
Oh, it did then. This is now.
This is live.
There was what's that another?
Podium.
Is that the book? He did the book that he did for me.
Oh.
We're trying to guess. He has no idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your enjoyment and endurance.